Trevor Lawrence has to be more consistent. We've talked about him a lot. I think he's had a pretty good year. I think he's been pretty impressive, like with Liam Cohen. He's definitely shown some signs of life compared to what we've seen the last few years. But it's just not going to cut it. They had 6 straight possessions in Rams territory, 5 of them inside the 35. They came out alive with 7 points against the Rams. He needs to be better in the red zone. And I think 2 things can be true. The Jags are a B-level team. They're not A-level right now. They're probably B-level. And Trevor Lawrence still isn't living up to the absolute hype he got out of college. It's not all his fault. Like, the receivers are dropping balls. The protection isn't good. But the decision-making is still off. And he's holding the ball too long. And that's contributing to the back-to-back 7-sack weeks on Trevor Lawrence. So I'm kind of flip-flopping right now. I totally understand. I'm contradicting myself. I do think he's shown some signs of life, and he's been exciting to watch at points this year, but it's undeniable that consistency is still missing. And a lot of it still falls on his shoulders of like, hey, you got to play better. If this team wants to win, you got to play at a Mahomes level right now.
Yeah, kind of on the same thing I talked about Michael Penix, but not about age, but more about years. What is he, in year 5 now, Trevor Lawrence? Kind of is who he is. Okay, it's very clear at this point he's not going to live up to the generational label that myself and thousands of people thought he was going to be. But he's also a starting quarterback, clearly. But the thing what's so frustrating about Trevor Lawrence, I get the drops. Brian Thomas, just some unexcusable drops that's haunted Jacksonville these last 2 years. But Trevor Lawrence was 23-48. 1 touchdown, 7 sacks, not particularly accurate, holds on the ball too long. He's just not well refined. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you watch him, you can just feel like he's just not refined.
Yeah.
It's like there's still a lot of fat on him that you want to trim to have like this generational quarterback, because you can see the frame, the athleticism, the arm. It's there. But then there's inaccuracies. There's pocket presence. There's just all the little things that would help him become that great quarterback that he just kind of misses. And there's just no reason that Jacksonville should ever score 7 points. Again, I get the drops in the offensive line, but new head coach in Liam Cohen, you traded all this for Travis Hunter, who's a hell of an athlete, although Jacksonville still doesn't kind of know what to do with him. But you got Brian Thomas, you got some weapons, ETN, 7 points. Listen, I'm not asking him to beat Matthew Stafford, but you saw the difference between an elite quarterback and an okay quarterback. It was on display yesterday between Matthew Stafford and Trevor Lawrence.
I know we got his big contract, but for me, this was like the true make-or-break decision year for me, because for years I've knocked on Trevor Lawrence in the NFL with the turnovers and the decision-making, and I said, hey, I'll give him a shot this year. New head coach, offensive mind. I want to see it develop and see a full year's scale and performance before I say anything. But the consistency is just not there right now. And that's what needs to be there if you want to be considered an elite quarterback. And, people can come at me and say you're judging him too harshly and there's problems in Jacksonville. But when you're getting paid fucking $55 million, it's like at some point something's got to give. Like, you're getting paid a lot of money, so the performance should be there. And if it's not there, we can't just sit back and say, well, give it time. Well, give the $55 million time, I'd say, too. Like, it just seems like a lot. But I do like what you said with Travis Hunter. I think they need to target him more, and that showed 14 targets Sunday morning, exactly what I want to see. He had over 100 yards, touchdown, broke out. He made a living in college and high school with big highlight reel plays, going up for the ball, making a play on a jump ball, selling out. That's what you want to see more of Travis Hunter in this offense. Use him to his full potential. I know you drafted him as a dual athlete, so you feel obligated to use him both offensively and defensively, but clearly the exceptional talent comes when the ball is in the air and he gets a shot at it. It's like seeing Jettas go up for a ball, really. So I think they use Travis Hunter more. I think the Jags are in a good spot, but the Colts control the division right now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And, I was thinking about it earlier because I'm a Colts fan. I got to make sure everyone knows because they're having such a great season.
Of course.
But, coming into the year, the vibes were pretty bad for my Colts because you think about within the division. Texans have maybe the best defense in the league. and they had this quarterback who had one of the best rookie quarterback seasons we'll ever see. Jacksonville gets a new head coach. They get Travis Hunter, and they have Trevor Lawrence back healthy, who they paid $55 million. The year before, the offseason before, Tennessee, they go all in. They get Pollard, they get Snead, they get, Calvin Ridley. Then they have this number one quarterback. And I'm sitting over here with Daniel Jones and Anthony Richardson, and I'm like, crap. We're about to be fourth place while everyone's trending up. And we're the best team in the NFL for the record.
Yes,
and
sir.
thanks to Trevor Lawrence for not living up to expectations. And thanks to C.J. Stroud, who I'm watching right now that we didn't talk to tonight, still holds on to the ball too long and takes a bunch of bad sacks. And Cam Ward is just in a disaster. But, yeah, the last thing on Trevor Lawrence, it's just like, man, I was so high on Trevor Lawrence coming out. I really was. I thought he was going to be the next best thing since sliced bread. Maybe not the best quarterback in the league, but like someone who could easily be top 5. And I was like one of those people. I was such a fan of Trevor Lawrence. I'm like, when they paid him $55 million, I'm like, is it early? Yeah. But I think he was the guy? Sure. So if you think he's the guy, then pay him. Just hasn't looked like the guy. He's looked like a guy. But he hasn't looked like the guy. And my thing with Trevor Lawrence is, again, he's a starter. The bar is low in Jacksonville. It's so low that he's probably going to finish as the greatest Jacksonville Jaguar quarterback of all time. But he's never going to finish as the generational quarterback. And you talked about consistency. I've always said this in sports. What separates the great players from the good players is consistency. It's not talent. It's not arm strength, mobility, frame. It's consistency. And like Penix, is a guy like Trevor Lawrence, and Caleb deals with this too, is they have all this talent, but they're just not consistent enough, whether it's with ball placement, timing, seeing the field, staying clean. Something's always wrong from Sunday and then 2 Sundays from the next. They just can't replicate it over and over again, and that's what separates like a Mahomes, a Lamar, a Burrow from the Penixes, Caleb's, and Trevor Lawrence. It's consistency.
Mike Evans made a career off consistency. Like 20 receivers per year have 1,000 yards, but can you do it for 10, 11 seasons, right? Like it really is what separates you. And when you're great for a long time. And when you're considered one of the elites, you do it without question. I feel like every week we talk about Trevor Lawrence. I watch the games, but I don't really have to because I already know what we're going to talk about. It's the same story all the time, right? It's kind of this repetitive theme of like, is he consistent? Maybe he had a great game, but when the Jags fail, you can almost always turn on the highlights and say, Trevor Lawrence missed a few key passes here and there, right? It's like every single week. So is he going to get there? I don't know. Like you said, he might just be who he is at this point. Obviously, you never know. Guys like Daniel Jones are now breaking out, and he's in his, 6th season in the NFL on a new team. Who knows? I don't want to completely judge him because Jacksonville hasn't been historically that great, but we've seen a lot, and I think we know a lot already about Trevor Lawrence.